Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 646. Today we'll be doing battle with Vanessa. And so, welcome back. It's been a hot minute since our last video. We had the Thanksgiving holiday out here in America. I think Canada does it as well. So if you've been out in the EU, have a nice weekend, if you're in the stateside and the NA area. Happy Thanksgiving. I think they do it in October in Canada. I read that somewhere. I didn't fact check that fake news, but you know, I guess somebody would make that up. Why not troll on the internet? But moving forward, what are we going to do here? Fairly powerful choices between the throwing knives and the grenade. I'm not opposed to either one. The problem that you tend to run into with things like the grenade at the start is it just doesn't do enough sustained damage, right? If we're needing to get to 250 damage in the early rounds, if you crit and get to 160, that's great. If you miss the crit and only get 80, you got a lot of work to do. And so both the grenade and the throwing knives feel like more of a mid-game kind of item, to where the switchblade does work decently early, but it certainly falls off in the mid-game. And so this feels like a sort of tough decision. I'm going to go just with the grenade in this spot. I feel like this fits within more of the weapon-based builds that you're going to see with Vanessa. If you're going, go wide items, or if you're going for ammo double barrels, it still fits, to where the throwing knives don't really work if you go into a port build, which is what I think is what you typically want to be doing with Vanessa's these days. And so we'll take the grenade, see if that plan doesn't pan out. And hopefully we get a good skill to turn up here. And so one of the things I've really kind of come across within the Bazaar is I wish that there was a good just generalist skill. And what I think the generalist skill for Vanessa is supposed to be is the crit one, right? So if you want to imagine that we started off with a burn item, we started off with Flame Chompers as our... Is Flame Chompers right? That's a League of Legends thing. That's Jinx's little friend, right? But if you started off with Flame Chompers, you wanted to go down the burn path, and then you're given the option of poison damage or weapon damage. You're kind of hosed, right, in terms of your early game start, and you're going to throw away quite a few days. I wish that there was some kind of guarantee that, say, Vanessa would see crit, Dooley would see shield, what's his name, Pygmalion, whatever he's left over is, see something like economic or health based, like something that ties into the theme of the champion, but doesn't necessarily go overpowered. And so you aren't just like, oh fuck, well I got the grenade, but I also have to take final dose because these other options aren't very good. And so maybe something will come with that in the future. What I've really kind of found here is you want to be starting with these high-powered ones, be that 6 poison off the final dose, the 8 burn one, or the 24 damage one. So we'll be taking the 24 damage one here, seeing if we can't push that up any further. Now with this set, I'm not the hugest fan of forcing myself into these shops early, and so I'm just going to take the aquatic item. It's not going to be something that pans out for a long time. We did spike into a fairly decent one, and then the piranha kind of fits in with this little crit theme, but the big thing with the piranha is it's going to give us a bit of sustained damage as we try to fight through this round here. Now against these, I think we probably lose to any of the poison opponents, right? If the poison stacks on us, we're probably gonna die. So I'm just gonna fight the banana bowl here. It's not a real need to pick up any of these items off of the Viper or the other thing. Spiking out a duct tape isn't the worst in the early game either, but see what I mean here? This is what I was worried about as far as a poison round goes. We got that hit in for 100. Wasn't nearly enough to take the opponent down. Now the Piranha's out here doing his absolute best to chunk down this opponent before the Sandstorm, which just isn't going to happen. And so we'll definitely get the victory here against the Banana Bowl. Don't want to be giving up too much experience, too much gold in the early game, and so feels like it panned out okay. We will look like dum-dums 25% of the time, right? If we hit the crit and got the OTK in here, would have been a beautiful day. All right, hit the med kit, not a real win there. And now medium items I'm good to come in and search for. If we find double barrels, I think it's too early to find repeaters, or if we find cannons, all kinds of good stuff for us here in the early game. So double barrel turns up, happy with it. Let's take a roll, see if we can't find another good one. Nothing that strong turns up. I'm tempted to take the katana. This is going to be quite strong in the early rounds with our left-handed. The problem in the early game here is like double barrel just doesn't do enough sustained damage. You hit your opponent for 60 in total, or like 100 and something with the left-handed, and then you don't have any way to deal out that last 100 points of damage. The katana carries through pretty hard in the early game, especially with the left-handed giving it that big bonus. And then day 3, day 4, we just sell it. And so only losing out on 2 gold isn't that big of a pain point here. And so welcome to the Club Katana. We'll get something up and running with you in just a moment. And now one of my favorite items is turned up here. Finn's Big Bite is exceptionally strong in the early game. There's all kinds of builds that just absolutely cannot stop 5 health regen. And so I love getting to pick these up in the early game. Just as you do run with these very low optimized builds in the first round that can't deal a ton of damage, very real chance our opponent just can't outdo that 5 health per second heal that we're going to be getting. And how's his katana so much better than ours? Oh, it's got the he's got the silver katana to our bronze. Got it. Seems like that's probably enough to outdo our heal. Tie? Is that a tie? Okay. Well, the regen certainly helped us sustain through that round, and so glad to see it. All right, so what do we got now? Not tons of money. We could look to pick up a crit skill. These other options just aren't super good. 25 health is meh. There's no aquatic items that we really want with a left-handed start, and so maybe we can get 3 crit to our weapons or something, or LOL. Oh, it's the 4-second one. That sounds right. When you crit freeze for 8 seconds, this has to be nerfed, right? The balance patch is coming out later in the day as this video is released. 8-second freeze off a crit is fucking nutsos. And so this should still be pretty decent here early. We can maybe get a crit off of the grenade. Oh, hang on. I thought we were going to have more crit stuff this early, and we don't. We don't. We aren't quite there yet. I was getting hype, but it was a little bit too early to get hype. And so I'll take the Deadly Eye, give our weapons the bonus. I'm tough on that one, and that 1%, right, to hit the other items with that 1%, but I think this is okay. Now into the next shop. No experience is a bummer. Probably look to just get a weapon. Aquatic cooldowns don't want to lose the health. I'm not opposed to going ahead and starting to upgrade our double barrel, though. And so maybe we just come in and take the +8 onto it. Right, this is a weapon that we could just keep through the eternity into the game, and so if we're starting to stack up its power now, I don't hate it. All right, so what do we got in this next set? Don't want to go to the shop. We don't have the money. The Strange Mushroom does give us experience, but it doesn't have any gold attached to it, so I'm kind of leaning towards just getting a friend. We do want to have the friend just hanging out in our bag, right? So if we turn up to find one of those 2% crit or 4% if you have a friend, you definitely want to make sure you have that friend around. So, the Illusory Ray will just hang out for the rest of the game. And now we can battle up these. Tent City Mayor doesn't really drop anything that we want, so we'll just take the guaranteed win here against the Coconut Crab. So yeah, Thanksgiving. It's come, it's gone. It's I don't know how it's gotten this far with the food selection that you get at Thanksgiving. It's all fucking like protein and fat. And like the farts that I dropped on the house, my wife could like smell them in separate rooms. She was definitely catching a whiff of it from like around the bend and down the hall, and cursing me out for trailing it through the house. And it's not entirely my fault, right? This is what you eat at Thanksgiving. If you're not from America, if you're from the EU, this is what it is. Like your typical like centerpiece of the meal is either turkey or ham, and so you have a big protein thing there, but not very many Americans really like delve into the root vegetables after that, right? There's to a degree there'll maybe some kind of like potato dish. There might be like roasted carrots and parsnips and shit like that, but for the most part, it's just all like protein and fat and garbage, right? So it's like the big thing is deviled eggs. That's what I always make. Just pure protein and fat. Brings along great fart smells. But then just like no vegetables, nothing at all. It's like people would say like, you want a vegetable, I got it. It's called cranberry fluff, which is just like marshmallow fluff with cranberries mixed in it. It's like the most fucking American thing you can imagine, right? You're like, oh boy, what would I tell an American I need a fruit or a vegetable, and they give me this fucking dish that just has sugar spun through it all, and that's all you get to eat. That's all that rolls through, and so, uh, it's not my fault that the booms were being dropped, and can't be the only one. Has to happen across the country, right? But let's see. Let's move forward. Let's keep the farts to a minimum today. Not a great shop here. We only have $5, and so sells items. Not really wanting to invest the money in this one. The skills we could pick up or the chocolate bars sucks so much only getting 30 health out of a shop. And so let's at least go to the skills. Getting like +2 to weapons is probably worth 3. This slow thing should be good. Slow freeze. Maybe that pans out at some point. Let's just stack up on the crit thing in here. Get the Deadly Eye level 2. So now, yeah, both we could go to Lickett. She has the items that just sell themselves. We're probably not going to level up before the next battle. Maybe we do just take the small burn item. We can sell it if we need to. Well, I guess if we level up, we can go double aquatic here, right? We've got the seashell and the illusory ray. All right, so we can take this stat boost. Maybe like the ammo item turns up or something in these small treats. What is it? Just garbage. Crit chance, 1 damage, shield, health. I'm just going to go ahead and sell it all. I thought we had one more shop. I confused myself a little bit. So I thought if we hit a level up shop next, then we might be able to get these units in, but we probably need to get good now. If this dually's leveled up with some extra items, we're definitely going to struggle. Okay, yeah, he's scaling on that health pretty hard. This is, again, why in these earlier rounds, I like to start with things like the katana. Give the katana the big attack boost. I don't think we're going to be able to outdo the Wallace and the shield arm, whatever this is, Brick Buddy and Wallace. They're going to scale up before we're able to get in the kill, but we would have never dealt enough damage with the double barrel to get the takedown here, and so it's not a guaranteed loss. If we can keep this damage coming in when the sandstorm hits, he's not dealing a ton of damage back to us, and so might be able to get a victory there. His poison couldn't outdo our regenerate. Seems like we might be okay. He's going to get a big scaling hit here at the end. That doesn't look accurate with the health. Oh, he's got 37 health at the end. Okay, that's very close. Bummer. All right, so what's up now? Still not a ton of money. I'm leaning towards just taking this aquatic item. The $6 for the skills is fine, but we need to like start picking up our build around stuff. We either need to find a port this round or we need to find a crow's nest. And then ideally we would say be getting an upgraded double barrel. Running around with bronze double barrels is a fantastic way to lose. And so let's just try and amp up the money just a little bit here. We'll take the small aquatic item. Try to take the small aquatic item. Not quite yet. See how this goes. Yeah, I'm curious to see what comes out of the balance patch. It's been an odd patch in the sense that they just kind of like nuked Pygmalion and then kind of nuked Dooley with the Armadillo and then didn't touch Vanessa. And so Vanessa's been kind of running rampant this patch, and we've really gotten to see what a pain in the dick the freeze skills are. And so I'm curious to see what comes out of this next balance patch in terms of those things, because outside of like the annoyance of freeze and the lack of Pygmalions, it feels like the patch hasn't been that bad. Now, it might just be because we prefer to play Vanessa in these parts, but it seems like it's been okay. So now with this, we have kind of a decision point here, right? I typically like to just scale early with the experience to try and get to the full board as fast as we can, but we can't just like ignore leveling up our double barrel. It's very easy to be like, oh, well, the double barrel this round is only 6, and then the last round it was 8, and then the next round it's only 14. And so I'm just going to skip that and take some of these other like higher impact things, but that all adds up, right? If you want to get to the end of the game to where you have like the 300 attack diamond double barrel, then you need to be doing stuff now to help you get that, or it's gonna, you know, that additive bonuses aren't going to be there. And so I'm not opposed to picking up this 8 damage onto the double barrel, but we need to get to the full item board as fast as we can. So we'll take that. Not the strongest set here. We'll still just click on weapons. Ideally, we'll find a double barrel in here to upgrade with. I'm not convinced that we'll be going port, so I don't want to take shovel here. I think we have enough to where we can buy bolas, and then maybe we just take hand axe. I'm kind of interested in both of these, but I also want to roll and try and level up the double barrel. We have enough garbage just to sell if it comes down to that. So let's do that. Let's take both of the items. Take the roll. No double barrel. Throwing knives does turn up, though, which I don't hate. So it's like coral could go, medkit can go, piranha can go. Make sure we keep our friend out here, Illusory Ray, and then pick up the throwing knives. Okay. Not super ideal, but it's at least a minor upgrade. And now here, we're never beating the eccentric ether, right? We'll just fight the dabbling apprentice. Oh, shit, I forgot to move our double barrel. It should be okay here. It's hitting for 100 here, 100 on the next hit. It should be pretty quick takedowns.
It's over already.
Okay.
We barely got our flags up.
Could be somewhat interesting with the dagger here early. Adjacent potions. Oh, I thought grenade counted as a potion. Never mind. So, moving on. Let's hit the medium items. This is kind of a tough one, right? It's our best chance at finding double barrel, finding something like repeater, but we don't have the money to really go all in at this point. And so cannon turns up. Getting to 8 is kind of off the table. And so if it was one of these 4-cost things that would give us an upgrade, we would have made it, but has a pain point of a loss there. Now we definitely can't afford to go into these shops. Who wants to go to Gumballs on day 3 anyways? What a bunch of nonsense that is. Alright, coral armor comes in. So we got poison, loot items, cooldown reduction, burn, or coconuts. I think we just want to take the scavenger hunt here for the friend items. Hitting ammo for double barrel would be pretty big, but otherwise, you know, there was no damage. There was no experience points in there. Not a bad set, right? We got the experience point out of the vial of blood. We'll hang on to that for just a moment. Sharpening stone onto the double barrel. Cooldown onto double barrel. Not the end of the world. Okay, so what do we have left? Probably just put, say, like the damage item in. And then seashell. I don't think the seashell will be too relevant, but we can keep it. We'll hang on to the vial of blood just in case we pick up an early cove next round. Now we're up against a level 3 Vanessa. Definitely want to keep this double barrel to the left if he's going to be so short on hit points. We should get a pretty quick KO with the double barrel. Dang, he's got a lot. He's got a lot out here. His level just wasn't right. Am I right? He's at level 3? Maybe I just looked at it wrong. It's a powerful fucking start, though.
You move in straight lines.
Okay, so moving forward, what do we got here? A little bit of regenerate. I don't hate. Small and medium items are pretty decent. I'd like to just find some direction, though. I'm just gonna pick up the regenerate, try and push through the boss rounds here. Definitely don't want Cell's items. Can pick up 50 health off of the chocolate bars, but I think we'll just get an item. Get the $2 or whatever bullshit it's going to give us. 1. get that $1 off of the revolver. Got to appreciate that. All right, but let's fight the Blood Reef Raider. He has a lot of on skill ammo type things we could find. Crow's nest, flask of ammo. Yeah, this is around where our double barrel has fallen off. This is where it gets scary, right? We've got the double barrel out of ammo, the grenade, the bolus, the throwing knives. We're just gonna fucking lose this round, aren't we? I don't know this. I'm used to just coming in and blasting this guy. Uh, Maybe it would have been okay if we had our katana to the left. Could have at least contended with some of these stats. Fuck. It's not a disaster, but we would have definitely preferred to have won early. Ugh. It's like I had our previous opponent's board on the mind. Seeing the guy with the double barrel and the grenade and the cannon and the loot thing, the port. So, bummer. All right, let's go to the dock, see if we can't spike a weapon. Need the money as it is. Miss Isles. Interesting with the multicast. We can't refill this with the core, but maybe her damage stacks up enough to where it's interesting if we grab a port. Now moving on, we can still get the level up this round, right? Even if we skip the chest. It's like we really need to spike on these medium items. Gotta find these upgrades we're looking for. It's miss here. Coral armor is not an upgrade. Fuck, no double barrels, no repeaters. Musket could be fine. It's got the 100% chance to crit on it, so it's going to do 120 damage in the battle, which is probably just more than the katana at this point, right? And so I think we need to go ahead and just pick it up. Some of these weapons are just so shitty that we gotta make the best of it where we can. So let's just take the lowest damage stuff out. We'll get the musket in. I mean, things like Tazadanian dagger we don't really want. Missiles probably not strong enough, right? Only going up to 13 attack. I have to think the revolver will do more than that. So I'd probably just go back to the dagger at this point. Oh, this has been brutal. Can we stay like this? Do we need to push the revolver over? It says he's at level 5. I just worry that we're going to run into it like we did with the boss fight there, to where our shitty double barrel just isn't able to do enough damage. And then the revolver has that high chance to crit, shoots pretty fast. I think it's okay. Ugh. Nasty. Just gotta luck bag some crits out here. I'm not opposed to doing a little bit of better lucky than good, right? with the grenade and with the revolver getting a little bit more crit power. Is he doing some burn stuff? And a 10 burn lighter out here, bringing out the big scaling. Yeah, we're out of ammo at this point. We only did 500 damage.
Bravery without strength is a
That's one of the pain points with this game. It's very interesting to me in the sense that how this is going to be balanced. If you spend a lot of time on like the Reddits or the Discords of the world, it sounds like a lot of people's answer to the air quotes no meta, right? Wanting to play the game with no meta is just adding a whole bunch of items to all of the characters, right? And so people will say like, well, you just get to force port builds now. And so the way to fix that is you just have like, 20 large items and then you just never find your port. And that's not really the way to do it, in the sense that, if port is actually that good, then you just do really well on the games where you high roll ports, and then you do really poorly in the games that you don't. And then you also run into this kind of thing here, in the sense to where you're just never able to upgrade your items. And that's kind of a function of the last balance patch, to where they kind of redid the level up thing, to where they said it was too easy to get the fully diamond board. And so they kind of cut that back a little bit, and it's not nearly as easy to upgrade the items in this. But one of the things that's been super frustrating for me in this patch is you get, your build into a decent spot, and you just go to a shop and say like, okay, well, I have 3 medium items. I go to the medium item shop, open it up, miss, roll, miss. Okay, go to the next shop. It's a medium and large item, not as good, but has some stuff we need. Open it, miss, roll, miss, and then you just given up like half the day on -6 gold and no upgrades. And striking the balance between really having this nice cohesive mix of items with getting them to upgrade to the point to where it doesn't feel frustrating, but also doesn't feel too overpowered and too easy, is going to be tough to hit, especially in the sense the place that I kind of worry about, as we've been talking about our double barrel here and going through these and being like, okay, well, here's an upgrade for locked and loaded to give it additional ammo. We could decide to give it some bonus attack. The other kind of issue you run into is if you want to get into the late game and have better items. And so if we're going to say that blunderbuss is just better than double barrel, we look to hold double barrel into the mid game and then take blunderbuss later. The tough thing there is striking that balance as to where we've spent 7 days of upgrades onto our double barrel. Should that be better than the blunderbuss in the late game? It's tough to say. And so that gets even more, got a cat trying to jump up here where he doesn't belong. It gets even more pronounced in the sense of like adding enchantments to stuff, right? If you find like an enchanted item, you probably don't want to get rid of it. And so I'm curious to see how that plays itself out. As we're just in this headspace of this game being like, all right, well, we're just going to upgrade our double barrel the whole way. Should there be a late game, say, diamond only item that's better than double barrel, to either A, question if your upgrade strategy has been good, or kind of be a good replacement for when you didn't find your upgrades. And so I'm interested to see how it goes. I think right now, as we try to end this tangent, there's just like too much shit that goes wide. I think there's probably like too many items and themes within the game right now. As you see stuff, say like musket. Like musket's kind of interesting in that it sort of half fits in burn builds, but most burn builds are really going to like struggle to find an answer with musket. And so it's nice in the sense it fits in crit builds, it fits in burn builds, it does some stuff, but it feels like as like I was talking about backpack battles a few months ago, like as they just keep adding these kind of like small niche synergies into the game, it doesn't feel like it adds anything on the whole. Like it's kind of nice when it does turn up, but then it just does dilute the rest of the games across the board. But nonetheless, let's get focused back in. I think we want to put the ammo thing on the double barrel. If we do land in a space to where got disconnected, I talked too long. if we get in the space to where we do get to upgrade this double barrel or find a port, having that one extra ammo isn't going to be overly detrimental. And this is a fairly weak upgrade round as it is. Okay, so yeah, double check. Aquatic, get a weapon. Yeah, garbage. Ammo, need to get the double barrel in the right spot. Okay. On to the next tape. So what do we got here? Another Finn's Big Bite. Works for me. I'm not giving up the income. I don't want aquatic items. We can get ourselves up to 14 regenerate. That does make me want to like push more towards a port build. Right, port builds tend to be a little bit more grindy than doing stuff with the double barrel. But we don't have a lot of options to pick and choose now, right? Our economy's kind of fucked. We lost that one battle, which messes with the gold. We've been going to these medium item shops that we're going to hit here again and just completely keep whiffing across the board. Just pure shit in this shop. Shit in this shop. Fun game. We could have picked up the gold thing to put damage on your weapons, but it's such a short-term item that doesn't really feel like it's going to be that strong. Alright, then we'll fight the Sabertooth. We need to get the win. The Gorgon, I don't think we have the health needed to get a takedown. She does have the strong skill in when you get taken to half health, you freeze your opponent's items for a minute, or for a second. But that's a tough spike in a round that we're probably going to lose. All right. That fixes a lot of our money problems, though, right? Hitting the Diamond Fang. It's a decent weapon at this stage anyways, a 4-second 30 attack item, but sells for 16 is also quite good. So let's see. It's going to be another underleveled round if we don't take the abandoned chest, but like we got to find some kind of upgrade. Has to hit. Just taking shovels isn't the answer. I guess we can pick up cannon. It's fairly cheap at this point. It just gives us another item that we can potentially upgrade. It's also minor combo with the musket. When you burn, get that stat line back, and so maybe that's a thing. Double barrel upgrade turns up. Hopefully it's not too little too late, and at least a decent round there, right? We at least have to wait another day before we start bitching again, right? And so with this, let's just take the skill out of this round. Oh, no, we need the EXP, right? So now we'll level up when we go into that boss fight. Take the upgrade on double barrel. Okay. Okay. Definitely feels like we hit a bit of a power spike there. Let's see. Let's get some of this stuff out of the way. I mean, we gotta be keeping the shiny fang in here. God, this thing has multicast. Is it ever just better than the double barrel? No, it attacks a little bit too slow. But what a question to have to ask yourself, right? I didn't realize this thing multicast. That's pretty big time. So I do want to get the cannon in though. Probably take out the revolver. The 3 attack off of the hand axe is probably a little bit weak at this point as well. Not doing a ton of damage off the cannon. It's really just here to assist with the musket. And so I could be convinced to get rid of any of these things on the right. Like the hand axe might actually be better than the throwing knives, but it does like crit combo with the musket as well. And so maybe we'll just hang on to it.
With you, but if you insist, we're out to dethrone a king, not to squabble with nobody.
All right. Ooh, hasted crit stuff. Scary. Double barrels coming in. Getting our big crits though.
Got talent. You should put it toward
Learn from the
noble
master.
use.
I got the fang to bring the crits.
You move in straight lines.
Okay, so what's up next? Just Finn's big bites all over the place. I gotta take it though. Like sells items, there's just too much garbage. I don't want a shield item ever.
Now this is health food. Literally.
All right, up to 19 regen. No reason to go in vehicles. The monster skills can be pretty hit or miss. See if we spike something here. Get 2 regenerate for each ammo item you have. Just be all in on the regenerates. I don't hate it. What else is there? When you burn shield items, no. At the start of fights, slow is not bad. Poison at the start, not quite what we're looking to do. Yeah, let's just stay on theme, right? You get 2 regen for every ammo item you have. I feel like this is something that would be a little bit better when the other champions are released and you get the chance to hit more regenerate kind of stuff, and the regenerate stuff gets tuned a little bit better. But 31 health per second is nothing to scoff at. But all right, let's come in and battle with the trash golem. It does have potion-y stuff, if memory serves, and so if we do make our way over to the port, we might find something useful in here. All right, got him.
Is that even a battle?
Okay, plasma grenade, more burn stuff, and here's the big one we need, right? Sells large items. So let's see what turns up. Crow's Nest would be a thing, and then it's just everything, right? The port is here, the Crow's Nest, and the Cove. I think we would just go into the port. Like, we don't necessarily have to be looking towards having some kind of obnoxious freeze potion build. I'm fine with just having an obnoxious double barrel build, but I typically prefer to have ports. And I think that applies in the patch that we're currently playing in, to where very frequently you will need to actually do reloads on your double barrel to get the kill, just because as the game progresses, people have more health. We're on day 6 at 3 wins, so we're 3-2 at the point, and so we're gonna have to be into the at least like day 12 to get out of this game. So we're gonna hit the higher hit point opponents, and so I think it's just a little bit preferable to going crit mode with the Crow's Nest. And the pivot, I would say, is the reason I like double barrel so much is it does play towards port. It does play towards Crow's Nest. If you want to single item lifesteal crit with the double barrel, that's definitely a build as well. But I think port's just a little bit safer here. And then I also want to pick up Cove. Cove is a very powerful economic item for Vanessa as we run into those rounds, to where it's like, oh, I'm going to take 5 chocolate bars. then just stacking up all that value in the cove is pretty safe. And even if you don't plan on sitting on it, like it just naturally sells for 3. And so it's pretty easy to be like, okay, well, I get cove, I sell like a handful of these crappy items, and then just turn it around to an extra 2 or 3 gold. And so I think we'll get a bit of use out of this thing as the game goes on as well. So let's get rid of missiles. The downside to this kind of thing is if you do plan on taking the level up thing that gives you plus attack for each weapon you have, it counts the weapons in your stash, and cove takes up a lot of space. And so you do miss out with that, but I think this is probably just worth getting the gold. So we'll take it. We're gonna pick up port. Oh, can't afford it. We gotta sell our diamond teeth. We gotta get our grill out of here. Okay, we got our port. No need to roll. The items won't turn up on the rebound. Okay, so what do we do in here? Let's at least go to this shop real quick. Medium items are just too on point. Find another double barrel, find a repeater or something. I've been trying to make Arbalest work. It's another port build. I think something with Arbalest is there. It's just a little bit tough to get this thing up and running. I've had a couple of games over the weekend to where I thought I had a big Arbalest video and I was just fucking wrong. But all right, we'll skip that. So what do we got? Vehicles, aquatic, weapon, or ammo? We don't 100% need the ammo since we picked up port, but if we get these like really fast attacking double barrels, it will shoot faster than the port heals. And so I'm kind of okay with loading up double barrel with just a little bit more. Same could be said with throwing knives, but like it's so far away from being particularly relevant, especially since we don't have a bunch of crit stuff. So I think we'll end up selling the throwing knives here shortly. All right, locked and loaded in, up against Pygmalin. How are we going to handle this? Is this it? Was it that easy? I kind of want to get Plasma Grenade in. That could be our burn item for the round. The cannon just isn't that strong at the moment, right? It's bronze tier, 25 damage. We're basically just using it for burn to reload the musket. So let's take that out. I think we'll probably just go for the higher damage option in the throwing knives. I don't think we need to take the bolus to slow if we're going to have the plasma grenade slowing as well. All right, that's good. We got the board space for that incoming frost potion after the battle. Let's get to it.
No, I'm a bit of a legend on Pelago.
Oof.
Have you noticed I'm huge?
Diamonds on my teeth, diamonds on my grill. I forget who that was. That's one of the rap songs my brother just used to repeat on end. can't remember who that one was. How we doing here, though? He's got an ass load of shield, getting ready to pummel us with that buckler. Definitely glad we got the extra ammos on the double barrel. It's been running into some problems. That's wild with our regen surviving these buckler hits. I think we're probably too slow to win the round. Our reloads aren't coming fast enough, but the concepts I've been talking about throughout this video definitely applying here, right? As to where if we went Crow's Nest, we just wouldn't have dealt enough damage to get the kill. And so having the sustain through the port and all the regenerate definitely gives us a lot of bonuses. All right, next round though, medium and large items. That's where we need to be. Crow's Nest turning up, not quite what we want. Sniper rifle, absolutely not. Okay, next set, nothing really there. Small and medium items could look at. We're getting a little bit short on money at this point. Oh, what did we pick up? Oh, we picked up a second throwing knives. We'll have to keep that in mind if we want to, as we passed on that last Crow's Nest. Maybe that comes in over the musket or something, since we can get crits fairly easily. Maybe we do go small and medium items then. Hitting another dagger would be interesting. Pass on these. 2 defensive. Garbage. All right. So yeah, I mean, I could definitely see just adding in the other throwing knives instead of the plasma grenade. Missing out on the slows, but we'll keep the musket charged up with the port. think that's fine. Need to get like haste on the port. I think Treasure Turtle's a winnable round, but Joyful Jack has good skills. It's only a 1 experience point different at this point. I think we can beat the turtle. It's just like a scaling shield thing, right? Maybe we should have put our... Well, I was gonna say maybe we should have put our burn potions in or something, but we aren't stacking up enough burn with the single grenade. Yeah, we need more out of our port. We're starting to fall behind in this round already. He's got that seaweed scaling up. I don't know, it's like we're getting some big, like, lucky crits right at the end. We might have at least done enough damage to where we'll survive through the sandstorm. Like, we won't get the damage kill, but the sandstorm keep his health low enough. Scary. We at least got that. It's like, at least to a degree, we've got the that regen helping us. Saw the seaweed about to pop off at the edge. Ugh, barely got it. Okay, that was a little frightening.
See that plank?
Oh, genie lamp though. That's gonna be like 30 gold. Okay. Cool. So gold tier items now. Maybe something big will turn up. Wanted poster. We could get the experience gain off of it, right? We're about to just be flush with cash. If you're not familiar with the genie lamp, you just sell. You take the event and 3 wishes. It's either 10 gold, 10% health, or prestige. Now we should have probably done it before we jumped into the thing here. But the event goes away. I think it's kind of bugged to where you don't get back-to-back events. So do we want the wanted poster? There's 2 things with it, right? I don't think we ever want it just for the crit to try and combo these throwing knives. Like, throwing knives are going to go away here soon. But would we take like 16 gold to have an extra like 6 experience? Yeah, probably not. All right, let's move on. What do we got here now? Just garbage? Definitely not a flagship build. Bummer. Okay. This game's bullshit, am I right? So what do we got? Friends, vehicles, experience, aquatic cooldowns, or crits? It feels like we're just behind in experience, but... This is a close one. The aquatic cooldown is probably just too weak of an upgrade. Alright, let's take the experience. Medium items again. It's gotta hit, right? At some point in time, we gotta hit something useful. Nope. Figurehead's a maybe. The 25 damage on the items probably does more damage than the musket. Passed on this guy earlier, right? The lockbox?
We're gonna need a bigger
Okay.
boat.
Figurehead
water
comes
is
in.
free. I like
Now
the
we're gonna
exercise.
send off the genie lamp. I swear the genie lamp was bugged before to where it just made the day or the hour end. So I was worried that the gold shop shows up, so we use the genie lamp and then it just goes away. But I know that if you're before a player that it doesn't do that. So yeah, I'm just gonna take the 30 gold. Now up against Pygmalin, we're gonna put the aquatic item to the left, the cooldown or the damage to the right. Okay. Let's fuck him up.
Go ahead. Underestimate me. It makes this more fun.
You do see these tusks, right?
So what do we got? Addle build. We gotta outdamage this guy, right? He hasn't been doing a ton of it. We did just run out of ammo across the board.
That was
Okay.
impressive.
Got that victory.
You fall like a boulder. I flow like the waves.
Okay, what now? Take a chance on a rare event. You got it. Burn items. What you bringing in? Garbage? Burning Jit? Umazawa's just burning it up right here. I think we'll skip on that. What else we got? Burning Star Chart. At the start of each fight, burn for 16. It's probably just too far off theme. That's a bummer. One of the things I'm not certain about with this game that's kind of interesting to me is, as you do have shops like this that could potentially have, say, like fiery double barrels, I'm curious if there's ever a point to where you just say, like, leave double barrel at gold so you can take the risk in these shops to get, like, the super upgrade on it. Not certain if that's a thing, but I'm pretty certain that if we had a diamond double barrel that you can't upgrade it or it doesn't appear in the shop anymore. And so
I'll keep them burning.
not certain how I can entirely feel about that. Did we fuck this day up to where we lost out on our shit? We lost out on our ported item. Let's sell that shit. I remembered now that as we're looking to go get chocolate bars, I don't want to just get items. Just too much random bullshit that comes out of it. Alright. Damn. There goes our freezing potion, huh? It was it was guaranteed to be the freezing potion. Alright, but we'll go the expensive ones here, right? They technically only cost 5 gold once we sell the Cove. If we get the upgraded Cove, then they would be free. So that feels good. Not a particularly strong round here. We could try go for the cooldown reduction against the Cosmic Rock or the extra experience against the Bouncer. We'll just try and pick up the cooldown. Right, you get these leaves, whatever these are. Reduce the leftmost items cooldown by 12%. Getting somewhere. Get these bird leaves.
Pathetic.
Start dropping some boomer shit on you all. One of the things that pisses me off on Reddit is people's hatred of getting the leaves picked up out of your yard. That's how you know you're in a thread full of 16-year-olds talking about the joys of leaving a yard full of leaves, just letting them deteriorate and strengthen the quality of your grasses. Never walked across fucking frozen leaves on on your driveway. Let me know how well that goes for you when you've got a bunch of wet fucking frozen leaves in your driveway. Just turns into a just slip and slide all the way across. But I did my part for the garden. That brown patch of grass outside would have looked a lot better if I had my leaves out there all year. It's fucking expensive to get rid of them, too. You have to make the adult decision if you want to spend like 6 hours of a Saturday just raking up fucking leaves, or if you want to pay somebody like $300-400 to do it. Ugh, it's fucking brutal. All right, done. I'm done boomering. Boomer out. Back to back to action here. Not the strongest set, right? This is what I've been talking about. The kind of weak point with the Cove is when this turns up, you don't have a weapon stack. You'd like to be putting 20 some damage onto your double barrel, but we're only at 10. We do have 18 out of the force amplifier or just 2 experience. And this is where I kind of struggle in the sense that I'm not certain how hard we need to be going to these weapon upgrades. Like shooting to level 10 for upgrade or level 15 for weapon enchantment is certainly a thing, but you miss out on a lot of these damages. And so I'm just going to pick up the damage on our double barrel. Now we've got medium items. Just trash. Take the roll. Something's upgrading. Figurehead? Okay. Well, that seems to be what the build just is going to be today, right? This figurehead double barrel thing. I wouldn't be opposed to, say, trading grenade for a more like utility-based ammo thing, but this all seems fine. Pick up large items, see if we can upgrade the port or the Cove. Missed there. Port. Nice. See how good it feels to upgrade your items? If you don't get to upgrade, it never feels good. All right, up against Vanessa. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, big upgrade that round. The figurehead and the port we're getting to that point to where
We're
you know,
out
we'll,
to
we'll very heavily look for skills the rest of the way,
nobody.
and then we'll just have to kind of the fuck double haste potion pufferfish. All right, my dude. But no, we'll just have to see if we can't like find a replacement for these throwing knives. I'm not super sold on them being a part of our build. But it's like as we transition into just like focusing in on skills, because skills are always good, we may not find the chance to, you know, replace them. Seems like we're kind of hosed here. Why does he just keep us like perma slowed? Oh, it was the illusory ray. Yeah, that was a bummer. Getting knocked out. All right, well, let's see if we get a good enchantment. What's that? Heal? Well, it's not what I really want on the double barrel, but I think it's what it's got to be. I'm not certain what happens if you put heal on figurehead, because I would prefer to wait for the double barrel and see if we can't hit, say, like deadly or hit radiant, so it can't be slowed, and then just see what happens with figurehead on the spring. It may not even just let us put it in here. No, it does. It doesn't activate though.
Sink, but I'm a good swimmer.
What do you do when you use an adjacent item? Heal 30. Okay, I don't hate it, I guess. And now we got to pick up C4. I think going for the ammo skills, they're just going to be too on point with what we're trying to do. What grenade did we hit? Pop snappers? That's not exciting. Yeah, it's C4. What do we got? Reloads, not super important. Bonus ammo, not really super important. Bullet time's good. And then crits. I think we're going to be looking for crits here with the throwing knives that we have. Getting the quick crit ups on the double barrel. Give us a little bit more damage as well. So that looks good. Again, I'm going to go for the skills. Just they're guaranteed good. I don't want to run into a shop that doesn't have an upgrade in it. And so small items is what you need for throwing knives, but got to find something useful here. Now, this is kind of a bummer one, right? This has been an interesting space as to why I don't like Crow's Nest, because there's so many Vanessa items that say the first time you use a large item, do something, and Crow's Nest never activates these. Now, this is kind of an awkward one in the sense that we have this figurehead, and so it kind of cancels out the ability for the port, right? We could push something out to the left or the right of the port, but it's going to weaken up off the figurehead. So I think we'll skip that. Just put the crit thing on the rightmost item, seems fine. Probably move it over to be on a throwing knife. And then do we want to do Elite Duelist? I worry that we just can't even kill the Death Knight Reaper. The Elite Duelist does have a lot of lifesteal items, and so it might be a mistake, but hopefully we can crit him down hard enough. Our throwing knives haven't really popped off. Trying to see our double barrels only at 27% crit.
You should teach at the academy.
Got that chain right at the end.
Was that even a battle?
All right, what's the small items? Okay. Well, I guess we're kind of stuck with stuck with this build with these small items anyways, so that looks good. What do we got? Ammo, damage is what I'm leaning towards. Citrus don't want loot items, or probably worse than damage. Yeah. Okay. Now upgrade an item, sure thing.
That does good work.
I'm gonna put the double barrel in. I'm just curious. There's two things with this, in the sense that if we upgrade out a medium item, then I don't really want to go to any more medium item shops, right? It's like I want to maximize my chances to upgrade all the weapons that we have, and just like eliminating that shop is kind of what we would like to do. So it's like we go to large item shops, we go to small item shops, don't want to go to medium item shops. With that, I guess it makes more sense to say if we upgrade the port. Then we just don't need any more large items for the rest of the game. We can just stick to medium and smalls to try and upgrade this stuff. Otherwise, I mean, I have to imagine that if I don't know what the diamond figurehead does, but it might just do more damage than upgrading the double barrel on its own. Also kind of interested in upgrading the port just to put the extra ammo on these throwing knives. That's tough. I just have to imagine like the damage is going to be coming out of the figurehead. I guess the other thing to kind of ask yourself, as we have 4 wins on day 9, we've gone 4-4 at this point. Do we ever like get to 10 wins? Probably not. So what's our best chance to getting to 7 wins, right? That's going to be the big win point here. And that's probably going to be the figurehead. Just giving us, this feels like it's going to give us the most consistent shot to get to that 7-win mark. Now we got diamond tier skills. We can afford this, right? We got 18 gold in the cove. So what's this? Opponent half health with cooldown stuff. Haste 2 burn, can't use that. Haste 2 poison, can't use that. Leftmost tool. Oh, this is just garbage. So what's this last one? The first time your opponent falls below half health, your cooldowns are reduced. Yeah, I mean, that is good, assuming you can get your opponent that low. I mean, it's probably too good to pass up. Double check this. Haste your burn, haste your poison. Leftmost tool. We don't have any tools. Alright. No, we should have probably sold some of this shit before we got rid of our cove. It's just a couple of gold.
You should
All right.
know I'm a bit of a legend on Pelago.
Let's see how we do. He's got slow stuff here. It's a little scary. Need our big crits to come in. Got him to half health, so our skill should pop. That's tough to see. I don't know where the lag comes from. You'll have to let me know if you know. If I need to just upgrade my machine, I'll do it. It seems like something that my machine should be able to handle, and it's a Bazaar problem, but I don't know. Alright though, enchanted item with slow effects. I'm kind of tempted to just put that on a throwing knife and then still hope and dream we can get a good upgrade for our double barrel. And we could put it on port, but I don't think that's the way to go. Slow an item on use. Yeah, makes sense. And then we are running low on money. I'm kind of tempted to just go for the ammo skills here. We can afford the 12 cost weapon skills, but I don't think that there's a ton of them left that we really want, to where getting an upgrade on one of these daggers or on the grenade would be pretty good. We pick up battery. Alright, let's see. Garbage. I won't say that the repeater is garbage, but it's way too late in the game for a silver repeater. It just doesn't deal any damage. That's what I'm talking about, you know. should have just gone for the skill and taken the guaranteed upgrade. It's so brutal when that happens. All right, though. I think the hulking experiment is the one that has the items we're looking for. He does some stuff with potions. Yeah. Pick up another parting shot. Get 10% on use. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I have a 3000 series video card in this thing. When I look at OBS, it says my CPU is at 30-something to 40-something%, depending on how many shinies are happening. I just can't tell if it's like server-side calculations that are bringing the lag, or if it's just my machine is actually not good enough. It's been a few years since I built it, so I got that 30 series graphics card in the height of the COVID days. So that's how I know when I built it. It was during COVID. But we're lucky out here in Kansas City. We got a micro center over on the Kansas side, and it's the electronics store that everyone still loves. And they had a thing to when everybody was trying to sell graphics cards for $1,000 a piece to mine bitcoins with, that they wouldn't let you scalp it. You could only go in and get like one per month. And so they would take down all your information and you could only get the one card. There's not to say you couldn't game the system, right? You could have your mom come in and your sister come in and your friend come in, but that takes a lot of effort to go and scalp a bunch of cards. You can't just go to bestbuy.com and buy fucking 50 versions of the same card. So that was pretty sweet. I had to support them that way. All right, though, moving on. What do we got? Don't want gumballs. Sells items. Again, that's so much just shit that missed. I went in and put the upgrade on the double barrel, so when we do hit these things, we can focus on large items and small items and ignore mediums. I think this is okay, but items is just too general. We'll take the small tool to make sure we get money. If we roll into one of these shops and have to spend 24 gold, we want to make sure we got it. So that's good. Tough one here now, though. We got the small items to potentially upgrade this stuff or the temporary boost, putting 25 damage on each of our weapons. And I think as we're just, trying to shoot to day 7, we're just going to take the boost and put it on the weapons. All right. Looks like another Vanessa with 6 wins.
Captain, but I've seen my share of storms.
See how we do. You gotta be feeling better about it, right? Oh, Manta Ray. You can't have that many friends, right? Isn't this the friend thing? Oh, it's a haste thing. Okay. Got him under that half health. It's gotta cut all of our cooldowns, right? Double barrel at 1.4. Got him down to fucking 16 health and they survived out of it? Okay. It's like, are you serious? Are you serious? He's gonna regenerate out of this at fucking 14 health? Alright, good deal. Victory unlocked. What do we got now? Non-weapon items, no skills or gold. To pick up the skills.
Are you prepared?
So we got leftmost crit is kind of interesting. Damage, crit on everything, or aquatic. I mean, we still want that crit to be enhancing our throwing knives, right? So I think I'll take the crit on this one instead of the 16 damage on the double barrel.
As long as you draw breath, your training
Freeze skills should be obnoxious, right? Get that freeze on crit. Slow we do have, right? Our heavy knives throw does it. Don't have burn. Here's the 8-second one. And then when you freeze, you get crit. Yeah, we want the 8-second one here.
It's hard to dislike.
We can fight this hulking experiment again. Same guy as before. Seemed like he had stuff we kind of wanted. And oh shit, I need to check our bag. This guy doesn't give us energy potion, then we need to see what we got. Yeah, it's this lag. It's like I have a hard time envisioning it being our machine if this is a game that they intend to put on mobile, right? My PC has to just have more high speed in it than the than my phone. I don't know. I'm sure they're still working on it. That was a good thing for me to see, right? If you're not familiar with the state of the beta, they added on another month to the closed beta because they had higher than anticipated numbers. The EU was particularly brutal on the game in terms of greater than expected numbers, which is wonderful. It's a great problem to have, right? You can always do stuff to fix the game, but it's hard to go and just get players to play it. And so hopefully that all stays in tune. What do we got? Not losing max health. There's no burn. Looks like this is going to be loot items. Which is just shit. Oh shit, we picked up another. Our thing was a gold throwing knives. Let's just go ahead and put that in here. I'm not certain if that's going to be the proper item. But I'm definitely on board. We got 4 spaces now. Okay. What is this? Regen, cooldown. I want to put on the double barrel. Let's take care of this real quick. Okay. We're running long. That's definitely not optimal, but it's good enough. Haste items. This is the kind of space to where I'd like to know how the upgrade system works, right? I'm going to go to haste items. If we spike a hasty double barrel, that would be pretty sick. But I'm not certain if that's even capable at this point. Probably still worth it to try and spike a hasty throwing knives, a hasty port, turbo port as I believe it would be called. But didn't turn up. Tropical Island I do like having in our bank, but we don't have the money to purchase it, and it's too late in the game. Okay,
I understand.
worth a shot.
It can be scary.
Temporary boost will put the damage on the weapons. Now let's see if we can't bring a little LOL to our opponent with our with our triple throwing knives. Another Vanessa round.
You should know, I'm a bit of a legend on Pelago.
Can't triple stamp a double stamp, right? That's oh shit, here comes the freezing potions. That's can't triple stamp a double stamp. That was not Ace Ventura, the other one. Curious how this goes. It's like he's got to blow up 2 of our items and then hit the frost potion. Just is what it is. Is he actually dealing damage? Yeah. I can say sometimes you run into these builds that are too cute with frost potions that don't deal any damage. Bummer. Well, we accounted for that as best as we could. We didn't put the upgrades on our double barrel, so if the radiant thing turned up, we could protect it. It didn't happen. We didn't get there at the end of the day. It just kind of is what it is. And so, you know, reasonable enough build. It wasn't really where I expected to get at the end of the day, but I think we did handle this draft well. The only things I was kind of questionable, concerned about was we passed on a the change box earlier that functions kind of like the figurehead, to where it puts the damage on all of your items. That looked like where the pain point was going to be, and we kind of recovered from that. And so it was kind of an interesting fixture of the direction that our double barrel was going to go. Were we going to have like double barrel repeater? Were we going to have double barrel port? Were we going to have double barrel crow's nest, and the way we were going to go about it? And I'm happy with how this turned out, like deciding that we need to come in and take the figurehead to get the damage boost on all of our items. I like how this all panned out. We just ran into a tough battle there at the end. The opponent able to both destroy our throwing knives and have freezing potions against our build that has, you know, a non-freezable item, and then has a real susceptibility to that stuff as it goes on. And so we'll see how it goes. Things might be different later in the day today as the balance patch comes out, and I'm certain freeze is going to be going to be toned down just a little bit. But it was a good run. I had fun with that. Hope you did too, because that is going to do it for us today. So hope everyone enjoyed the video. Hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way, and you had a good time watching. This is Bustin' Me. Thank you for being here.